Welcome, my name is Kim Coletti. We are opening up our hip flexors today, solely hip flexors. Obviously you're gonna get a lot of benefit in other parts of your body, just like anything that we do, right? We have a focal point of an area of the body that we wanna work, but you're still gonna get a significant release in the rest of your body. So we're gonna find ourselves actually laying down on our back and grab anything you need, props, water, towels. I say this every single class, but sometimes we forget. I forget things all the time. So just make sure that you grab everything you need and I will find you laying down on the mat. Separating your legs, allowing the palms to face up. We're just going to take a few breaths here together. Begin to exhale out all your air as your eyes are closed. Inhale and exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, exhale. Good. Allow the breath to be, but constrict the back of the throat. Draw the right knee into your chest. You can begin to open up the eyes, flex your left foot, and draw the right knee in. So you might feel a little pinch right where your hip flexor is. That's okay. Try to keep the right knee hugging in towards the midline rather than out to the side. So we really want to access the hip flexor here. So even though we're bending the knee into the chest and we're not stretching out the hip flexor, we're still able to release the hip here. Deepen the breath. Maybe if you want to add some ankle circles, you can. Just make sure you go in both directions. Now slide your left knee up, plant your foot, take your right ankle over your left thigh and draw your left knee in. You can interlace your fingers around the shin or the hamstring. The shin is a little more difficult, a little more intense. Pressing the lower back to the mat, pressing the shoulders to the mat. Good, and begin to release. Plant your left foot down, heel toe your left foot over to the left, and draw your right knee down to the right. So both knees are moving to the right. You should feel a stretch right on the left side here on the front of your hip, and also sometimes on maybe your sciatic area. You probably will feel a little in your lower back as well. Inhale, rise. Extend your right leg forward and draw the left knee into the left chest bone. Flex your right foot. Good. Begin to release. Slide your right heel up towards your glute. Take your left ankle over the right thigh and draw the right knee in. Keep energetically pulling the left knee to the left and forward as the right knee comes into the chest. Plant your right foot, heel toe your right foot over to the right, let your knees fall to the left. Tuck the tailbone. Try to lengthen the spine with every inhalation you take. And on your exhales, maintaining the length in the spine. Good. Begin to come back to center. You're going to extend both legs forward. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. As you exhale, sit all the way up up and forward fold. Inhale, rise. Cross at your ankles, coming into a tabletop. Knees underneath the hips. You're gonna step your right foot forward in between your hands and come upright. So when we come upright, you wanna tuck your tailbone, you wanna engage your left glute, okay? Plant your right foot into the ground, slide it back energetically, and then pull your left foot to your glute with one hand or both. Keep tucking the tailbone. You can utilize the wall and place the top of your foot against the wall, or you can also use a towel or a strap. So the balance is a little more difficult here for some people, but if you have a wall and you're placing the wall right behind where my hands are grabbing, it does create a little more stability, and then you can focus on planting both hands on your right thigh. One more breath. And release. Plant your hands, straighten out both legs, and fold. All we're gonna do is step back to plank, lower the knees, and take your left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Same thing, you're gonna take the right foot in your hands or hands, tuck your tailbone, engage your right glute. Good, find the breath. And begin to release. Plant your hands, straighten out your legs, and fold, square the hips. Inhale, lengthen. You're gonna step your feet back, down dog. Shift forward as you lower the knees down. Now you're gonna take your hips in between your heels. If this is too much on the knees or the ankles, I want you to raise your seat up, okay? So you can put something under your seat. You can keep the hands on the ground. If this is not enough, begin to tuck the tailbone, push the knees and the shins into the mat as you lift up. Keep tucking the tailbone, so try not to arch the back. Now if you still need more, you can come onto the forearms and do the same thing. Tuck the tailbone, lift up. You should feel the quads. You should feel the hip flexors. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise. Shake it out, extend one leg at a time. And we're gonna do that one more time, okay? So you're gonna separate the feet, move your calves out of the way. As you lean back, find your expression, and then tuck the tailbone, draw the navel in, and lift. Good, begin to release. Push your hands into the ground, extend your right leg back, and rock forward and back for 3, 2, 1, and switch. Rock forward and back for 3, 2, 1, and release. Come into a plank, step your left foot outside your left hand, drop the hips with the chest. Lift up the hips, step back to plank, switch sides. Right foot outside your right hand, drop the hips with the chest. One more time each side. Moving with your breath. Beautiful. You're gonna take the knees through, cross the ankles and sit down, feet together, knees wide. Coming into a diamond shape here, inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, begin to hinge and fold. You should feel the inside of your thighs here. The more you press into the outer blades of your feet, you'll feel the inner thighs begin to light up. Maybe where your hip creases are, getting into the hip flexors. Now all the poses have directional engagements, right? Now depending on our bodies, every person has limitations that are different. Every person has strengths that are different. So the sensations will vary. A lot of times we get fixated on what something should feel like rather than what it should feel like for you. So we're trying to take our perspective out of that hole and moving it internally based on our bodies. Inhale, rise. Extend your legs forward, and one vertebrae at a time, you're gonna come all the way down. Plant your feet, coming into a bridge, really getting into hip flexors here. I want you to tuck the tailbone, send the hips up high, and then begin to lower down. Inhale, lift, and lower down. Inhale, lift, and lower down. Good. Extending your legs forward, one at a time. Reach your arms up over your head, take a full body stretch. Squeeze your glutes. And then exhale, release, hands beside you. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. This was a short flow, but it was perfect. Focusing on your hip flexors and hamstrings and hips. I'm sure you noticed that throughout the practice. Thank you again for today. I love being part of your journey. Namaste.